Hey, Talofa Lava. My name's Leotawa Dr. John Peterson, and you are watching the Alofa Movement, TE2 Edge Sports Cards. Yeah, definitely wanted to get on today and spend a little time taking a look at a few cards. Got a couple different things on tap here for today. But number one, I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. It's 2022, out with the old and in with the new. I didn't think 2021 was particularly bad. I thought it was a decent year. Of course, we're still living in the midst of a pandemic, which is not exactly normal and definitely not a fun thing. But overall, 2021, I got no complaints. I feel blessed to be here. Tomorrow's not promised. So for those of you that are watching, I encourage you to just continue living your best life and give thanks every day for the moments and the opportunities that we have to be alive and enjoy life. So it's kind of my philosophical advice for you as you start your new year. As you can tell, we got a little different setup going here today. This is the card table, and as you can see, we've got quite a few football cards here. These are the 1986 McDonald's football All-Stars that I picked up here back in early December at an auction. I purchased 2 lots, which was probably, I don't know, maybe 7-8 bins of these cards. The cards come in, well, let me start off. I think I mentioned this earlier in another episode, but the cards come in different colors. And so what happened was, over the course of a 4-week time period in the summer of 1986, McDonald's printed 4 print runs. As you can see, we've got the Joe Montana here. All right, and down at the bottom, you can see that there's a tab, a scratch off actually. And the way it worked is you bought a value meal or you bought a Happy Meal or something like that, and you got 1 or 2 of these cards. And then you scratched off the tab, and then if you had a winner, i.e. something that you could return the tab for, you could get like a small French fry or a cheeseburger or something like that. The vast majority of these cards were scratched off, at least to my knowledge. There are a few in raw form that you can find online, actually a decent amount, but I think only about 1,500 of them have been graded by PSA. And so I have, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, maybe 5,000 of them that I purchased here in early December. And got a bunch of different colors. Got blue, which was the first print run, and you can see that this is the blue version of the Montana. And then they printed the black second, and then they printed the orange, which I have up there, and then they printed, let me see if I can find, they printed some green ones too. Yeah, here's a Payton, Walter Payton in the green. And the green was the last color that was printed the 4th week. And so I guess what I found is that the print runs vary, right? I've gone through thousands of these cards and screened them multiple times. And, you know, there's variation in the quality of the print, the quality of the inking on each card, and the quality of especially the cut. Some are more miscentered than others. Some are, you know, centered better than others. It kind of depends on the color. It kind of depends on the week, and it kind of depends on the player and the card. There are 30 of these different All-Stars overall. And the All-Star cards were issued exclusively in areas where the football team wasn't located. And so where I grew up in Menominee, Wisconsin, we had access to the All-Star cards. We did not have access to the team cards, although I've got quite a few of the Packers team cards, of which I think there are 22 different players, 11 offense, 11 defense. And if anybody's interested in getting a few of those, just holler at me. I can definitely make those available to folks. Just digital message me or text me or whatever. Most of y'all got my number, know how to get a hold of me. I do plan to send a number of these in over time. I will be sending them first and foremost to PSA, but I'd like to see the PSA prices come down. Right now it's $100 a card to get these graded, and the drop off between a Gem Mint 10 in this card and a 9 is pretty significant, and so you've got to be really careful about how you go about submitting them and getting them graded and making decisions about the financial aspects of getting them graded. I do this for a business, of course it's a collector thing too, but first and foremost I'm doing this as a business, and definitely need to make sure that I'm stewarding the investment appropriately and making good decisions business-wise with how the cards get graded and how they get sold through retail, resale. So that's that piece. And you can definitely check out my videos coming up here, because I'll be talking quite a bit more about these cards. Also too, if you haven't hit the like button, please do that, and please subscribe if you enjoy watching the videos. It really helps to see you jump on board as a subscriber. That gives me an idea of how many people are watching and who's watching. Well, not who's watching, but how many people are watching and you know, enjoying the content. So that's that. And then, last thing I'll say is you've got quite a few different cards. As you can see, there's 30 different players. The top 3, I would say, are the Montana. There's a Merino. Here's a black Merino, or Merino in black. Really tough to find this card centered. That's the best one I could find, and you can tell that's not even fully centered 50-50. The blues were a little bit better in the Merinos. Those were a little easier to find centered. And then, of course, I showed you earlier the Walter Paytons. And I think the Paytons looked pretty nice. There's quite a few Paytons in this stack that are good. I've gone through them a few times. I've got probably close to 50 here that I'd like to see graded. Eventually, I probably will do it in phases. And I will definitely be working with a third party to help prep the cards and ensure that the ones that get submitted are appropriate for grading purposes. Again, if you haven't picked up one of these, this is just a magnifier, pretty straightforward. It's got a ruler on the inside. When you look at it, it's a fantastic tool. It's a must-have. In fact, from here on out, whenever I do any digging for raw cards at a shop or at a show, I'm going to be bringing this with, because you do pick up different things, especially with the corners and especially with imaging and printing of the cards. Of course, you got to have them centered. That's kind of the first obvious thing, but you definitely have to be looking at the corners, both front and back, to see if there's wear on the cards, because if there's any wear, you're not going to get a 10 or a 9.5 for CSG. As an example, you got to look on the back of these cards. The card might look clean on the front, but you got to look on the back and make sure all those corners are sharp, or as sharp as the print allowed for. Some of them are a little less than perfectly perpendicular, or not perpendicular, but square, just because of the way that the machine cut the cards. But you definitely want to be looking front and back and doing it in a way that offers for magnification. So again, I mentioned TE2 Edge sports cards. This is the Alofa movement. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Got a package in the mail. All right, this is from Terry in Virginia. Not going to say his last name, but let's take a look at what's in here. Let's open this up. Packaged nicely. Sent United States Postal. Okay. Pull out the bubble mailer. It's that in the garbage. He's got these set up as a bubble mailer. I think rather than rip that, I'm going to cut it. That's always fun to see what's in these different packages. Of course, I know what's in it, but you all don't. So I was watching ESPN the other day, and they had a 30 for 30 on Bubba Wallace. And, you know, I don't really follow NASCAR. I don't really follow Formula One, although I know that the Formula One cards are pretty hot right now from what I've heard from folks, especially my pal Eli. But I was watching this thing on Bubba Wallace, and at the beginning of, and Bubba Wallace drives NASCAR for those of you that don't know. He's African-American NASCAR driver. I think his mom is African-American black and his dad is white, light-skinned, as I like to say. So they were talking at the beginning of the program about the first black NASCAR driver, which I'd never heard of this person before. I didn't know there was a black NASCAR driver prior to Bubba Wallace, so just kind of goes to show you that I got a lot to learn. Yeah, I heard about this guy, and his name is Wendell Scott. Get that nice and close there, Wendell Scott. So Wendell Scott started driving NASCAR in 1963. Is this taped? Yeah, it looks like he taped it. Okay, all right. He's taking good care of these cards. I like it. So I had picked up a few of these Wendell Scott cards because I was really curious about, well, who was this guy? And so I went on to eBay, and I found some cards of this guy. Not many. There aren't a whole lot out there. But these are from 1992. And I ended up buying a lot of them for like 30 bucks. So this is the card. Get that nice and close. You can see it's got his name on there, Wendell Scott. So it's like his rookie card from 1992. Let's see if I can take one out here. Read the back. Just take them out of the whole thing. All right. So the back says, Wendell Scott, Collector Series 13, Wendell Oliver Scott, born August 29th, 1921, Danville, Virginia. Died December 23rd, 1990, Danville, Virginia. The career of Wendell Oliver Scott began at the Danville, Virginia Fairgrounds and Hobby Cars, where he won the Virginia State Sportsman Crown and several track championships before entering the Grand Nationals in the 1961 season. In 1964, Wendell was awarded his only Grand National win following a controversial finish in a 100-mile race in Jacksonville, Florida. These are 1992 K&M Card Company Sports Legends cards. So it's, as I was watching the Bubba Wallace 30 for 30 or documentary, whatever it was, found out that this guy oftentimes not only drove the cars and built the cars, but he also serviced the cars during the middle of the races. I thought it was an amazing story, the story of how he represented black race car drivers, how he represented the best of what NASCAR could offer, how he suffered through but also was resilient and fought through all the discrimination racially that he faced in the South as a black NASCAR driver, as the first black NASCAR driver. So I thought it would be cool to pick up some of his cards, maybe not only a personal collection thing, but also as a, you know, there might be some value in these cards later on. I mean, we have made a lot of progress in the United States, but we got a long way to go before we get to the point where we've got equity across the board for everyone based on race, class, gender, sexual orientation. I'd also picked up a couple other cards of his. This is a little set of about 6 cards in it. And then this is a little miscentered, but this is a picture of the race car that he drove. And on the back, it's got a little description on the back. So definitely a pioneer, and definitely someone that paved the way for other drivers like Bubba Wallace to, continue to race and be great and be the very best that NASCAR has to offer. Can't say that I'm much of a NASCAR fan, but definitely thought this guy was cool. And I also want to, shout out that NASCAR banned the Confederate flag recently, which I think is totally appropriate and the right thing to do just in the last year and a half. And so good on NASCAR. Let's get more drivers of color. Let's get more women drivers. And let's just make this the best it can be in all sports. Looks like he had number 34, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to set that over there. And then last but not least, I'm going to set this here. Again, I'm going to show you guys this 1985 Topps Cello box. I wasn't going to open it up, but the temptation is too strong. So I am going to crack this open, and I'm going to start to open up some of these Cello packs. I'm pretty excited, and as you can imagine, this box is, 30-some years old? 35, 36 years old, 37 years old now that we're in 2022. So it's almost a 40-year-old box of football cards. Again, I purchased this off of Baseball Card Exchange. They've been really good to work with. Or no, I didn't purchase this off of Baseball Card Exchange. It was authenticated and wrapped by Baseball Card Exchange, but I purchased it from a gentleman from Grafton, Wisconsin, off of eBay. And so it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Corners don't seem to be too damaged. The packs were 59 cents a pack. And yeah. So let's get after it. Let's take a look and see what's in here. I've got a meeting at 1:30 today, so I'm not going to be able to probably open up the entire box. So it might be kind of fun to open up a little bit of it now, and then maybe jump on and do another video. I'm not doing this live because I don't have permission from YouTube to do the video live. I don't probably have enough subscribers at this point. So the 85 set, second year cards of Elway, Marino, Dickerson, of course there's Joe Montana, Walter Payton, quite a few different players who are good players. I did pull up this, and I'll show this to you folks. This is the PSA, get that in the screen. This is the PSA auction price realized portion of their website. For 85 Topps, they've had 7,035 sales, and they've generated those sales $379,000 and $379,120. So relatively speaking, a pretty slept on set from the 80s. A lot of people, of course, focus on the 1981 set because that's got the Montana rookie. 82 is Ronnie Lott and Lawrence Taylor. 83 is Marcus Allen and Mike Singletary and Jim McMahon. 84, of course, is Elway Montana, or Elway Marino, Dickerson, Kurt Warner, running back for the Seattle Seahawks. But the thing that I really like about this 85 set is the way that the design of the card is made. So they've got the card set up. I can open this up. Wow, look at that. Now, if you're not into cards, this isn't really that big of a deal to you. But if you like cards, this is like gold. 37 years old. Cello packs, 59 cents a pack. So let's pull one of these out. They look like they're in pretty decent shape. This is what the pack looked like. Okay. 59-cent cards for the 59 cents for the pack. 28 picture cards, 1 sticker, and then 1 stick of bubble gum. Not seeing the bubble gum in this though. But let's take a look at these prices a little bit here. And I pulled up the APR, auction price realized, for let me move this here. Move that over there. Marcus Allen, you stay over there for a little bit. So I pulled up the auction price realized for a PSA 9. It's really hard to get these cards in a PSA 10. The black border makes it really, really challenging to get them in a PSA 10. And of course the prices reflect that. But in a PSA 9, the card number 6, the Walter Payton record breaker. Let's see, $127.84 for the recent great price. Yeah, and a 9 that recently sold in early December for $128. If you can get it in a 9, of course. Let's go back. Well, let's take a look and see. Let's say you pull a 10. Let's say you get a really nice version of that card and it jams out. That card sold in September for $1,825. That's not bad. So let's do one more. Let's take a look at the well, this is the Richard Dent All-Pro, card number 24. So that card sold on the 26th, so just a few days ago, like 5 days ago, 6 days ago. It sold for $150 as a 7. Well, that's not bad. 150 bucks for a 7 in this card. What's a 9 look like? All right, a 9 sold in the middle of December for $208.05. And then, so these are recent prices. And then a 10 sold this last June for $2,260. So it gives you a sense, and there's quite a few cards in here that have a fair amount of value if they get graded, and they grade relatively well. So let's open up a few of these packs and see what we end up getting. Now I decided to buy Cello rather than wax, and part of the rationale for that is the Cello doesn't leave as much gum wax, gum or wax stains. Cut this. Or wax stains on the cards. So you saw me open that box of 87 Fleer. You gotta be careful when you open these too. I mean, like, I know it seems kind of ridiculous that I'm being this careful with these, but honestly, if you damage the cards on the inside by opening them, it's not a good thing. Oh, there is gum in these. The gum's in the middle. Forgot about that. All right, so the first card here, Busting Through the Defense. Must be Tony Dorsett. Oh, here we go. First card. Looks to be relatively centered, actually. A Lawrence Taylor. Let's see what this is worth. Little staining here. So that'd be a surface issue. Centering's good though. Centering's good left to right. Top to bottom definitely could be better. So what's this card worth? Let's take a look. It's card number 124. All right, Lawrence Taylor All Pro. Let's see what this looks like in an 8. All right, recent price about $16.50. Yeah, that might be an 8, maybe a 7. Let's set that one. Set that one up here. All right, let's take a look. We got Jeff Bryant. See if we can tilt these in a way that you can see him a little bit better. Jeff Bryant, Stump Mitchell, Chip Banks, Brian Hansen, Jack Youngblood. He was a nice player. I think he's Hall of Famer. Charlie Brown. Oh, I think I see it. Ooh, Richard Dent. Okay. This is that Dent rookie card I was telling you about. Looks like it's got a bit of a print line on the center of it. Yeah, not in terribly great shape. Centering's a little off left to right. Top to bottom looks pretty good. A little bit of a chip here. Corners look pretty good. Yeah, let's see. I could see it maybe being an 8. Card number 24. With PSA, it's hard because I've never had any stuff graded by PSA. I've only used CSG, which, by the way, I sent some cards in a couple days ago to CSG, some vintage stuff. Probably going to hold off on sending anything more to CSG for a little while. They're really tough on their grades. I mean, when I do the unboxing for the 4 vintage cards I sent in about the middle of December, you're going to get a sense of how tough they are in the grading. So this is the Richard Dent All Pro. So let's see what this looks like as an 8.5. Huh? 53. Not bad. How about an 8? 1550. Okay, well, not bad though for a first pack. Richard Dent and Lawrence Taylor. It's pretty awesome. Let's take a look here. We got Charlie Joyner. Oh my gosh, another Hall of Famer. This is Steve Largent. Well, that card looks to be pretty dang well centered. Also, I think a Hall of Famer. Let's see what that one's worth. I think that one's probably in a little better shape than the other two. $389. So this is partly instruction for kids and for other people who are maybe not as familiar with how this process works. Whenever you dig for cards, especially rock cards, you definitely want to have access to the PSA data. And again, looking at the auction price data, sale price is one thing, but you want to look at closed and sold. So I'm just scrolling down here. Steve Largent. All right, Steve Largent. Let's say that's an 8. All right, $20. It's not bad. Now let's say it comes back as a 9. And it's sold on the 22nd of December for $70. It's not bad. So the next card we got here is Ricky Jackson. It's kind of stuck. Yeah. Jackson's got a little wax. It's like the gum broke through. Now this card, Pat Tilley. Let's hope that's not Joe Montana. So what do we got here? We got a sticker. Wow, that is just like glued on there. The sticker, you can see it ripped while I peeled it off. Greg Bell. Toss that. And then the gum. Like the gum is just like totally adhesed to the card. Like I can't even get it off. It's like crystallized on there. That's funny. Yeah, the old gum, you can't get away from it with these older vintage packs. Well, this card's basically worthless, so I'm going to give it a toss. And it also kind of ruined this card too. So that's definitely going to be an issue with some of these cards. The gum. And you can even see that it kind of bent the cards a little bit. There's Kurt Warner. This might smooth out though a little bit. This is his second year card. Not a bad card. He was a nice player. I don't think he's Hall of Fame. Centering on the back isn't perfect, right? You take a ding on that. Let's see what number this is. 392. Yeah, 1295. Yeah, not worth too much. 1295 as a 9. Reggie Roby, really good punter. Second year card. He actually might be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. All right, first pack. Not bad. 3 Hall of Famers in the first pack. I'm not going to complain about that. Well, I wouldn't complain about this at all anyway. Yeah, I probably could have left this unopened, but it's kind of ruining the fun of it, in my opinion. There's other boxes out there that it can be purchased, and I definitely need something to open these up with. Scissors is okay, but it's not ideal. Just cut a couple little slits in it. Seems to work pretty good. Kind of get it started. Huh. This is presenting as more of an issue than I thought it was going to. I've never really opened this old of a box of cards before. You have to apologize, or I have to apologize for going so slowly, but these cards are super condition sensitive, and just the slightest pressure on the corners can cause them to get dinged up. I'm trying to peel them in a way where I'm preserving the condition and the quality of the cards. That's a cool card, Phil Simms. Draw it like that. It's damaged on the front because of the wrapper, but you can see that Henry Ellard, Jaworski, Mark Haynes. Here's a Packer. Mark Lee. Yeah, we've talked about him before on the show. He's a good player. Ross Browner, Sean Farrell, Don Rogers. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot. Well, it's not damaged from the gum. Oh, what's wrong with this card? It's off center. Still a cool card though. Wow. 2 Hall of Famers. Marino and Montana. So what's this card worth? Let's take a look here. Card number 192. Slide down here to my handy dandy PSA. So I'd say this card might be an 8. Not bad. 43 bucks. Sold on December 27th. The rest of the card's good. Corners are sharp, pretty clean. A tiny bit touched on the bottom right. Little bit of chipping on the side. You can see on the side there's a little bit of chipping, but overall it's the centering that's the issue with this. Still a good card though. That's too bad. Mike Webster, Hall of Fame center. He's got the gum. I'm not even trying to take that off. Oh no, maybe he didn't. 2 cards fused together. Ooh. Alright, so he got the worst of it. Tyrone Young. It's good to watch this because, I mean, it gives you a sense of what you're paying for when you buy an old vintage box of cards. Well, I'm going to keep this Webster even though it's kind of bent. Dexter Manley. Oh, Leo Lewis. Leo Lewis, the Viking Leo Lewis. I've met him before. He's a nice guy. He does public speaking. Came to a school that I was the principal at. Or assistant principal at, I should say. Diving for the goal line. Anybody remember this guy? Ed Too Tall Jones. So they call him Too Tall. How tall was he? 6'9"? 6'9", 290. Looks like he was a professional boxer for a year too. Wow. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Oops. See, that's not good. Dropped it. A little wear and damage on this. What card number is this? 46? So I'm telling you, if we find even one gem mint in here, it's going to be a miracle. Ed Too Tall Jones. Okay. There was one. And it was graded in a 5. That sold for $11. So there's only been one that's graded and sold. 11 bucks, but still not a bad card. Not a bad card at all. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I'm going slow, but you know, it's slow and steady wins the race. Not into going fast. Sammy Winder. There's a kid in our neighborhood named Sam. That was his favorite player. Sammy Winder. I'm going to put the Webster in a sleeve too, even though it's Dexter Manley. It's not his rookie card though. All right, next pack. All right, I think I see how I'm going to do this now. Very carefully slide this under here without creating any pressure on the cards. Whoops. Now, if I saw a really good player in the back of this, I probably wouldn't use the scissors, but given that I know who the player is on the back of this card, not too concerned about the scissors potentially damaging it. Plus, pretty good with these scissors, so I'm not too worried about it. You might be watching and thinking, ooh, be careful, be careful. I was like, I get it, I get it. All right, it's like doing surgery. Surgery on these packs, Cello packs of 1985 Topps football. 59 cents back in 85. That was not cheap. All right, Jacob Green. Irving Fryer. Fryer might be, he might be Hall of Fame, not sure. Mark Mosley, he's a good kicker. M.L. Harris, Pete Johnson, Mike Ken, Tom Flynn, Packer. Receiving leaders. Yeah. 193. Let's see what this is worth. Scroll down. Yeah, and a 10, that's a $60 card. Is it a 10? Doubt it. Doubt it. Maybe a 9. Oh, here's our first good card, that is. Kind of bent. So we got Darryl Green here. It's a second-year card. And he's stuck. Another definition for this is called bricking, which I wasn't aware of that phrase till just recently. Actually, Darryl Green card is bent. That's too bad. It's not cut perfect anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to check that one out. Morton Anderson, one of the greatest kickers in the history of the NFL. Well, he's totally screwed. Garbage. And we got another sticker in there too. This is an Ozzie Newsome sticker. Looks like Ozzie Newsome. Yep, Ozzie Newsome. Oh, here's an Ozzie Newsome. Bent. Packers. Team card. Spotting his deep receiver, Lynn Dickey. This is a good player. Probably the greatest guard in the history of the NFL, John Hanna. It's a nice card. Little off cut, little miss center. 326. Card number 326. What's this worth? Probably not much. Yeah, it might be a 9. 1450. Is it 10? 89 bucks. Yeah. Doubt it's a 10. Never know though. Can always hope. Got another card here. Stuck to the back of this one. Man, this is an interesting thing, opening up these 1985 Topps football cards. Like Merriweather. Bruce Hardy. Ken Anderson. Jan Stenerud. Nice kicker. Started kicking in 1967 for the Chiefs. Kicked in the early 80s for the Packers. I'm pretty sure he's a Hall of Famer. Ken Anderson? Don't know about him. So, yeah. Nothing too special in this group. I'll have to go through these again to see if there's any gem mint ones in there that are worth getting graded. Not going to do that today. So where are we at? 45 minutes. I'm going to open up a couple more packs and then take a pause, take a little break. No need to rush things here. Kind of hanging on by a little nugget there. I'm kind of figuring out how to unwrap these. You have to excuse the low production quality here. Not too fancy. Actually, I kind of like I do like Sports Card Investor. Big ups to Jeff Wilson. I think his name's Jeff Wilson. I like his program. It's produced nicely. Of course, he's got a team of people that he works with. Dwight Clark. That card looks to be in pretty nice shape. Oh yeah. Yeah, that might be a gem mint card. We'll see. Top left corner looks a little bit touched, but let's see, 150. What's this card worth? $66 gem mint. Cut looks pretty good. Just that one corner. I'm gonna put that one aside. Bill Bates. Oh, here we go. Pretty decent shape too. All right, this is one of the better cards in this set. Really cool card. It's the John Elway. I'm gonna show up real close. You can take a look. Looks to be pretty well centered. Let me take this out. I gotta be careful because I don't want to do up any of the corners. But this is fresh from a pack. So I take this. Right corner looks good. Left corner's a little touched. There's a little tiny spot over here where there's some white. Yeah. About a 1/16 of an inch. Bottom left corner's a little bit touched. Let's just see what this card's worth. $238. Even in a 9, this might be worth something. I don't know, maybe it's an 8. I guess we'd have to see. So on a 10, and an 8, at $20. And a 9, $170. Look at that jump. 20 to 170. Or 168.50, and this card sold on December 20th. So you pull a 9 on this card. Is it worth getting graded? Maybe just for fun, right? Not for resale value, but just to enjoy having a nicely graded 85 second year John Elway card. Yeah, that's cool. Keep it for your collection. You don't need to sell every single card. You just need to sell enough cards to pay off your business bills. Willie Galt. This card's in good shape too. I wonder if that's his, nope, second year card. Number 29. It's kind of bent though. Can't super tell, but I'll put that in there. Tony Collins. Collins. Here we go. Tony Collins. Hey, Tony Collins. And the sticker's Merino. Garbage. Sticker's Bill Kenny. Never heard of him. Johnny Lamb Jones. I bet you there's a Jets fan out there that knows who that guy is. Oh, Tim Lewis. Nice Packer player. Jim Plunkett. Raiders. Raiders won the Super Bowl in '84, so that'd be the year after they won the Super Bowl. Freeman McNeil, he was a good running back. Here's a nice card. It's definitely one I want to keep. James Lofton, Hall of Fame wide receiver. Put that in the keep pile. Or in the, put it in a sleeve pile. Lionel James. This guy was a good running back for a few years. Yeah, not bad. The rookie card too. Yeah, I'll have to go back to that one, see if that one's worth anything. Well, these cards didn't get bent up as much. Jim Jeffcoat, Todd Bell. Oh, I've already gotten some repeats. Some doubles, as they say. Duplicate cards. All right, I'm gonna open two more. We're almost at an hour here. It's a long time to be watching. Just gently slide that scissors under there. Now, for some folks, this would be like the most boring. It'd be like watching paint dry. But for sports cards collectors, flippers, people who like do this for the passion of the cards and the sport and the business side of it, man, this is what it's all about. Joe Theismann, Hall of Famer. This card's in good shape too. For being the first card on the pile, this card's in tremendously good shape. A little bit in that upper left-hand corner, and it's still got some of the residue on it. It's like it's almost faded because of the cellophane. Yeah, he looks pretty young. Card number 190. $12.50. $12.50 and a 9. Still worth putting in a sleeve though. Oh, back to the last card. Okay. Centered. Eric Dickerson, record breaker. Most rushing yards in a season. Man, these cards are hard to find in good shape. This is probably a 9. Card number 2. The big thing is it's centered. Yeah. It's centered. Top might be 55-45 top to bottom, but the sides look good. It's the chipping on the sides. So at a 9, this is a $25 card. At a 10, it's a $305 card. Is that a 10? No, it's not a 10. Still, fun card. I already actually have that card, but it's not in that good a shape. Donnie Shell. I think Donnie Shell might be a Hall of Famer. Fred Dean. Danny White. Jackie Slater. He's definitely HOF. Matt Millen. Gary Anderson. Ooh, another Lawrence Taylor, but this one is not centered. In fact, it almost looks like it's miscut. Yeah, look on the back there, look at the bottom. Plus it's bent a little bit. Still a cool card. Yeah, somebody might want to buy that. Never know. this Rick Bryant. I just pray that the Walter Payton, Joe Montana, Dan Marino's not that gum card. Kurt Warner again. Kellen Winslow. Carl Banks. A.J. Dewey. Anybody remember A.J. Dewey? I do. I do remember A.J. Dewey. Corny. Another corny joke. All right, one more pack. One more pack. So this would be the top level. Looks like there's 3 more to go. Got some serious cards going here. Peel this one back a little bit. So you cut a little slit there. Back of this card is the Colts. They were terrible back then, so not too worried about roughing up that card very much. Sometimes if you cut just a little slit, it peels off pretty easy. Just kind of unwrap it like this. And then you get stuck. And you gotta cut it. Diagonal. There we go. They're free. What do we got here? Curtis Dickey. Ooh. Another Dent rookie. That's 2 Dent rookies. Yeah. Kind of tough. Show this real close. You can see the corners a little touched up. Still a nice card though. That's 2 Dent rookies. And that's one of the best cards in the whole box that you can get. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so like in a 10, that card recently sold for $2,260. Back at the peak of the industry market, $225.21, it sold for $3,550. As an 8, $1,550, not much. Now it's really cool sometimes when you get the same card in the same pack. Excuse me. Lynn Dickey. Jacob Green, Irving Fryer. Bobby Kemp. Oh, look at that, another Theismann. This one's really bricked on there. Oh, just like popped right off. I don't think I'm gonna put that one in the sleeve. Look at how hard this card is. It's like stone. Pat Leahy. Gum. He got gummed. Yeah. Greg Coleman. Ted Brown. Oh, here we go. Ooh. Yeah, now this looks pretty solid. I don't know if that's a 10, but it looks pretty good to me. 1, the centering. Look at the back. That looks pretty close to 50-50. Maybe a tiny bit on the bottom. But side to side, left to right, looks good. Corners. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna put this in a sleeve right now. just so we're protecting this one. So this is the second year. Dan Marino. Yeah, the corners on this one do not look, I mean, they're not perfect. You wouldn't get like a pristine or a perfect on CSG or anything like that. But could this, for the how difficult it is to find these cards in good condition, this is pretty good. All right, let's take a look here. My handy dandy. Now the right corner looks pretty solid. I don't see any chipping really. Tiny bit of chipping up the top right corner. Bottom left looks good. Bottom right looks good. Bottom left looks good. I don't know. This could be a 10. I think it could be a 10. Definitely a 9. Definitely a 9. So let's see here. What is a 9 in the Merino? 314. That's a nice pull. Ooh, in a 10. So let's say this does jam out. That's $1,288 sold back in October. Take a look. Not bad. Not bad. Now, let's look at the, yeah. Now, if you look at the auction price realized for this card, you can see, it's kind of hard to see that, but you can see that it's been going up in value and price since 1/14/2018. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these have been sold since 1/14/2018, and they've been going up in auction price realized, sold, completed. What's a 9 look like? $100. So even if this is a 9, PSA 9, and I'm not going to have CSG grade this. No way. Not in a million years. I'm going to wait for PSA to open up their doors. Yeah, you can see the this direction, the left to right, not perfect. But sometimes PSA allows for a little bit of off-center if everything else is good. I guess we'll see. Awesome. Let's go through the rest of this pack. So far we've pulled Dent, 2 Dents, a Merino, an Elway. Still haven't seen the Payton, and still haven't seen the Montana. Another Joe Theismann, or maybe that's the one from before. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy so far. That Merino kind of made it for me. Because you start to pull together a couple 9s, piece together a couple 10s and some commons, you basically gotten your the cost of the box back. All right, folks, I'm going to take a little break here. I'm going to put those cards in sleeves, but I'll come back. I'll post this to Facebook. How about I plan to come back around 3 o'clock today? So if you want to tune in, I'll be back on at 3. Oh, unfortunately, I can't do live. So I'll have to start the video and then I can upload it around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Probably going to have to do this in stages. It's really hard opening the packs, or not hard, but you got to be really